What is up, guys? Wrestling Premiere is here. Today I just decided, what the hell, why not make this Team Hell No video? I mean, I already started making it a few weeks ago anyway, so I decided to make it today's video. Team Hell No was one hell of an awesome duo. The two are clearly polar opposites and they hated each other. But after they hugged it out and went to anger management, they were forced to coexist whether they liked it or not. In this video, I'll be talking about the small feud between Daniel Bryan and Kane, and about how they've blossomed into one of WWE's most over tag teams of the last decade. Right now, let me start off with Kane. Kane returned in December of 2011 with a mask and he was a heel. He tormented John Cena, Zack Ryder, and Eve. Afterwards, he feuded with Randy Orton and he was mostly in the upper mid-card scene. Daniel Bryan, meanwhile, won the World Heavyweight Championship at TLC. The title changed Bryan and he acted like a jerk to AJ. Bryan ended up losing the title in 18 seconds and he blamed his girlfriend. He broke up with her and he began to fall down the card. He faced CM Punk, he faced Kane. He was at the top, but as time went on, he fell. After losing to CM Punk at Money in the Bank, Daniel Bryan proposed to AJ. She accepted and the wedding was set for Raw 1000. Come Raw 1000, AJ left Bryan at the altar to accept the Raw GM position. From there, Bryan's life was a living hell due to AJ Lee. AJ Lee booked Bryan in a match against Kane at SummerSlam. Bryan won that match with a small package. Okay, this is where Team Hell No starts. Let me just say it right now. After SummerSlam, Bryan and Kane were forced to attend anger management classes. Bryan didn't like the fact that he was forced to be with Kane, and over the next couple of weeks, Dr. Shelby helped the two manage their anger. Despite the two being in the same anger management class, they were set to do something on the September 3rd, 2012 episode of Raw. The WWE fans voted for the two to hug. They didn't want them to team up in a tag team match, they wanted them to hug. Kane and Bryan were reluctant to follow through with this as they still disliked each other. They awkwardly hugged, but that didn't really count. Once they actually hugged, the fans applauded them. They then pushed and patted one another, and when pushing comes to shove, it became a fight. The two fought, and it was Kane who gained the upper hand. Kane was about to destroy Bryan's neck, but several refs came out, and they tried to talk Kane out of it. Daniel Bryan recovered, and he blasted Kane with the chair. The following week, Kane and Daniel Bryan faced the primetime players, with the winner being the #1 contender to the tag team titles. Now, Kane and Daniel Bryan didn't really share much in common except for one thing. That was their disdain of Dr. Shelby. Like, they disliked that guy. They hated him. Now, back to that match. Near the end of the match, Bryan tagged himself in. Kane didn't like this, and he chokeslammed Daniel onto Darren Young, which made them the #1 contenders. What the hell? He chokeslammed them, and they won the match. Like, he literally chokeslammed them onto Darren Young, and they won the match. At Night of Champions, Kane and Daniel Bryan beat R-Truth and Kofi Kingston to become the new tag team champions. This happened after the two miscommunicated with each other, and Bryan pushed Kane off the top rope and onto Kofi Kingston. He pinned him, and they were champs. That's it. The two argued with each other, claiming to be the tag team champion. I'm the tag team champion. They were basically acting like babies. Wah, wah, wah. I'm the tag team champion. No, I'm the tag team champion. And they didn't even hit each other because of those anger management classes. So there was some improvement in the relationship between these two. On that week's SmackDown, Edge returned and he was tangled up in this mess between Kane and Daniel Bryan. The two bickered over who's the tag team champion again. Edge had to shut them up and they told him to relax. Edge tried to knock some sense into Kane, telling him that he stole his wife, and he mentioned how Kane crashed his wedding. He asked Kane if he remembers everything, and Kane said that he did, and that he should rectify that situation right now. Edge took off his jacket, but then Kane put his arms out for a hug. Edge was reluctant, but as he slowly approached Kane, he hugged him. Edge was confused while Bryan looked on in jealousy. He shouted, "No, no," and the crowd was chanting yes, and it was so damn loud. Following that, Kane faced Damien Sandow. Near the end of the match, Bryan distracted Kane by telling him he's the tag team champions. The two bickered once again, and Kane even tried to snatch the titles away, but Sandow capitalized on this by hitting his finisher for the victory. Kane after the match went looking for Bryan, and the two argued with each other, which led to Dr. Shelby getting involved. Bryan gave Kane his tag title back, but then Dr. Shelby asked Kane if it'll make him feel better if Bryan wrestled later on. He faced Cody Rhodes. Near the end of that match, he had Rhodes locked in the no-lock, but Kane distracted him. Cody capitalized on this by hitting Crossroads on Daniel, and Kane laughed at him. After that, the world's toughest vegan confronted Kane about this, and they argued for the millionth time. Kane said that Bryan belongs in a petting zoo, and they were blah blah blah, but then they stopped. They saw Cody Rhodes and Damien Sandow staring at them. Rhodes called their title reign a joke, and the two didn't like this, so they decided to challenge them for later that night. Rhodes and Sandow left, and Kane and Daniel argued over who they were scared of. Bryan was claiming that they were scared of him, while Kane was saying that they were scared of him. They were arguing over anything, basically. That match was a lumberjack match. They ended up winning by DQ, but after the match, Kane and Daniel Bryan destroyed the entire tag team division. After dropping everyone, they celebrated, but once again, they argued over who's the tag team champion. Dr. Shelby continued helping the duo in their anger problems, and they improved slowly. On the September 24, 2012 episode of Raw, the WWE fans voted on a tag team name for Kane and Daniel Bryan. Team Hell No won the vote, and right after that, they were attacked by Cody Rhodes and Damien Sandow. The following week, Team Hell No beat CM Punk and Dolph Ziggler in the main event, and this was basically a sign that, these two could, coexist in the ring, but, after the match, they just complain and argue and bicker and everything. On the October 12th episode of SmackDown, Matt Striker asked Daniel Bryan if he's the weak link of Team Hell No. Once he heard that, he locked Striker in the no-lock. Kane pulled Bryan away from Striker only to chokeslam him. Over the next couple of weeks, Team Hell No's relationship continued to grow. Yeah, they continued bickering and everything, but they defended each other from their opponents, and they were in a better place now than before. Plus, the two were one of the top stars on Raw. They were really entertaining, and they were in a good spot, basically. On the November 23rd episode of SmackDown, Team Hell No faced Big Show in a handicap match. Bryan during the match decided to tag himself in, and he locked Big Show in the no-lock while Kane walked out on him. Big Show countered the no-lock, and he chokeslammed Daniel Bryan for the victory. After the match, Kane ran back down to the ring, and with the help of Bryan, they sent Big Show walking. Basically, Kane didn't like when anyone had a problem with Bryan. He, however, could do whatever he wants to him, because he's the big red machine. The following week, Bryan trolled Kane. He claimed to have a poll's result about who people like more, Kane or Bryan. Bryan won the poll by 100%, and Kane didn't like this. Josh Matthews then interrupted to reveal the Raw active poll on who CM Punk faces later that night. Kane won, and Bryan shouted, "No, no, no." Later that night, CM Punk beat Kane after he was distracted by the Shield. The Shield set their sights on Kane and Daniel Bryan, tried to make the save, but to no avail. The Shield continued their assault on Team Hell No, but Ryback came out. Ryback managed to fight the Shield, but then Punk got involved, and Roman Reigns decided to hit the spear on Ryback. Dean Ambrose then delivered some right hands, and the Shield then hit the triple powerbomb on him to end Raw. The following week, Team Hell No challenged the Shield to come down to the ring. The Shield did come down to the ring, but after Team Hell No beat the primetime players. They assaulted the duo, and the Shield hit the triple powerbomb on Daniel Bryan. Later that night, Team Hell No returned the favor, and Ryback also came out. It was such a mess that ended with Team Hell No brawling with the Shield and the crowd and to the back. Once again, the Shield attacked Team Hell No on that week's SmackDown. This time though, the Shield triple powerbomb came through the announce table. So basically, the Shield at this point were feuding with Ryback and Team Hell No. The following week's Raw was a mess. Nearly all of WWE's top guys brawled with one another. While the Shield attacked Team Hell No, Ryback came out and it was chaos. The Shield's kryptonite was basically Ryback at this point. He was kicking their ass all over the place. Due to all of this mess, a match was made for TLC. Ryback and Team Hell No versus the Shield in a TLC match. It was the first ever pinfall TLC match. Now, at this point, Team Hell No were on the same page. They did disagree on some things, but they were a team. They realized that they had to win matches. Now, about that match at TLC, it was a classic. The Shield's first match in WWE was one of their best ever. It was pure chaos and in a good way. Ryback kicked the Shield's ass, and Seth Rollins fell off a ladder and onto his head. Kane was speared through the barricade, and Daniel Bryan took a powerbomb through a table, which gave the Shield their first victory in WWE. It was crazy and wild, and if you haven't watched it before, then what are you waiting for? As a matter of fact, go on and watch the whole pay-per-view. On the January 21st, 2013 episode of Raw, Team Hell No graduated from anger management. Dr. Shelby asked them who should be valedictorian. Kane said that it should be Daniel. Daniel shouted no, and he said that it should be Kane, and they bickered about this. They wanted the other guy to be the valedictorian. They weren't selfish. Dr. Shelby shouted for them to stop, and he offered them a hug. Kane and Bryan wanted everyone in the arena to hug, and they were asking everyone to hug each other. They asked Michael Cole and Jerry Lawler. They asked the fans in the crowd. They asked everyone. They hugged each other, and yeah. At the Royal Rumble, Team Hell No beat Rhodes Scholars. After the match, Bryan showed Kane his number for the Rumble match, but when Bryan asked Kane to show his, he refused to do so. So what Bryan decided to do about this was eliminate Kane during the Rumble match. He eliminated him, and the Big Red Machine was confused. This would come back to bite Bryan though, as Cesaro pushed him out. He leaped onto Kane, who then held him for a few seconds, and Kane made it look like he was going to put Bryan back into the ring, but then he dropped him. The next week, both men cost each other their matches. Bryan didn't mean to do it, but Kane actually meant it because of what Bryan did. Both men after this qualified for the Elimination Chamber match. Bryan was just added. I mean, he beat Rey Mysterio, but I don't think that was for a Chamber spot. Now, both men failed to win the Chamber match, and they went on to face Biggie Langston and Dolph Ziggler at WrestleMania. That was such a random match. I thought they added this because Ziggler was going to cash in later on, but that was not the case, and Team Hell No retained the titles. The following night, Team Hell No saved The Undertaker from a Shield attack, thus restarting the feud between the two teams. This led to a match between those 6 men on the April 22nd episode of Raw, and The Undertaker actually flew to England to compete on Raw, which was something he didn't do in years. The Shield won the match to continue their undefeated streak. The Shield triple powerbombed The Undertaker through a table on that week's SmackDown. Now, I think there was a plan for The Undertaker to feud with the Shield, but it just never happened. I think he suffered an injury or something like that. So Randy Orton replaced The Undertaker, and he joined Team Hell No in their fight against the Shield. Team Hell No faced the Shield in a tag team title match in Extreme Rules, and they lost. Bryan was the one who took the pin in that match, and coming out of it, he was seen as the weak link of Team Hell No. He didn't like this, and he was set out to prove everyone wrong. On the June 14th episode of SmackDown, Team Hell No were back on the same page after weeks of not being on the same page. Like, Kane didn't really team up with Bryan after that. It was Randy Orton who teamed up with Daniel Bryan, and yeah, they did team up in 6-man action, but they weren't really good with each other. They weren't cool. Team Hell No teamed up with Randy Orton to face the Shield later that night. Bryan ended up making Rollins tap out, which ended the Shield's undefeated streak. Such an awesome moment. The crowd went crazy. It was great. It's one of my favorite SmackDown moments of this decade. Bryan proved that he isn't the weak link of Team Hell No. He made Rollins tap out. Why would he be the weak link? Team Hell No after this basically went their separate ways. Kane thought that Team Hell No should prove themselves, but Bryan didn't want to be in a team. He wanted to prove himself and become the WWE champion. Kane said that he wanted to be champ too, and that was the end of Team Hell No. Bryan argued with Kane one last time as he walked away. And that's it for Team Hell No. I believe if it wasn't for Team Hell No, Bryan wouldn't have became WWE champion, because it helped his character immensely. I believe Bryan became a main eventer due to Team Hell No. He started off as a heel, and throughout the run, he became a tweener and then a fan favorite, and basically it helped him grow. After this, he went on to feud with John Cena, and he won the title, and you know that story. Team Hell No did reunite 5 years later, but I didn't feel like talking about that because it didn't even last that long. So yeah, they had some funny segments and funny moments, and they were really entertaining. That's all I gotta say about them. I love Team Hell No, and I do think it's shocking that they got both men who were polar opposites, and they managed to make such a great team out of it. So yeah, great team. And that's it for this video. Make sure you hit a choke slam on the like button and perhaps a yes lock on the subscribe button. Peace. I'm out.